Hey guys, it's Jake here. We're here with Otto and Theo. And we're just feeding our house cow Lottie here some calf growl pellets. Just trying to get a bit of extra protein into her. Her body conditions really slipped. She's been raising 4 calves for, maybe the last 3 months, plus a bit of milking for us. I'll pull them off overnight if I want to milk her. And this isn't a grazing paddock, this is a holding paddock really. I haven't got a system set up for these cows. I've got this paddock here earmarked where I can rotate the cows through and give them a bit more pasture. It's not a great paddock, needs a bit of improvement. It's one of the works on progress. So we're just going to give her an extra 3 or 4 kilos of feed a day in the form of pellets. This is another house cow who's dried up. The boys call her Blackie or Black Face because she's got a black face. And she's actually going for processing on Monday because she's a bit stroppy with the kids. She's not as nice with them. Lottie here's a sweetheart. Hey, darling. Anyway, I thought I'd show you the animals that we drafted out for slaughter through the yards yesterday and give you a brief chat about why we picked them out. Firstly, we've got this little Angus heifer that I traded in at a store sale a while ago. And lovely. Young little heifer calf or heifer, but she's being picked out because she doesn't fit our Nguni mob here. She doesn't have any Nguni in her, and so that was a pretty easy decision to make. Off she goes. This heifer here called Yardy was ear tagged because it was born in the cattle yards, or right next to the cattle yards when she came around, has been picked out because she's actually the tallest, largest, and I would almost bet heaviest out of all the heifers that we've got out there to breed. But she's just always dirty. That's enough, Otto. She doesn't need more. She's just always dirty. She's always got crap all over her sides. Her hair's real blotchy, a few little balding patches. So she's obviously rubbing a bit more. So that was the main reason I picked her out. Really interestingly, she was probably the most spicy in the yards yesterday, and when you stand here and look at her, she doesn't have as much rump on her. She's a bit bigger in the chest, and you know, we're like the Johann Zeitzman sort of philosophy where you want your cows to be feminine and your bulls to be masculine. So what does that mean? If you sit a bunch of men on a bench next to each other, where are they going to touch? Where are the boys going to touch, Otto, if they're all sitting on a bench next to each other? Their shoulders, because they're broader across their chest. And if you line up all the ladies on the bench, where are they going to touch? Yeah, their hips. And so we want feminine cows to have a small forequarter and a large hindquarter, and we want the bulls to be the inverse of that. And this animal, to me, interestingly, I picked her out because of her constant poor appearance and probably not the best body condition in the mob. You can see she might be a bit wormy or not handling the feed transition as well as there is no other cow on this property with tail dags like that. And you stand here and, you know, to boot, she's spicy and she's got the most masculine frame out of the mob. And then this first cross heifer over here, which was bred over some Brindle, Hereford, Drought Master cross. Don't even know where I got that. I've just bought all sorts over the years. We used to trade before I started. I sort of started breeding a little bit by accident. So we started with a really strange mix of traded up. Oh, they're going the cat. She's actually not a bad heifer. In terms of her temperament's okay. She was quite nice through the yards yesterday. Body condition held pretty well, but just doesn't excite me when I look at her, and she's ugly, to be honest, and we're wanting aesthetically beautiful animals. She is a bit high-headed, and high-headed means when you got Otto, keep an eye on that bag, when you've got a mob of animals. See how she's lifting her head there and peering over? When you got a mob of cattle, just calm down, Otto. Just be gentle. You'll often have a couple that'll lift their heads right up and peer over the mob, and they're normally bad actors, bad attitude. So she's never really given me grief before, but she's definitely a high-headed cow. So yeah, now Are these animals finished, ready for prime steaks? No, they're not. But, you know, we're trying to destock because we're trying to get ahead of our grass budget for spring and summer. It's shaping up to be dry. We're not going to have enough feed with the amount of animals we've got. So you've got to start somewhere. And even though we might not be able to pull out prime porterhouse, Scotch, rump, eye fillet out of these animals, we will be able to mince them, turn them into sausages, turn them into diced steak, and we still get a good return on that. And that is some cuts that we can offer discounts to our customers on. You know, if we have a massive oversupply of mince, dice and snags, that works really well for families. That's what families like, to get at a better price, to stock the freezer up and feed the family some red meat protein on a budget. So these guys are all, there's 4 of them going on Monday. We got the Angus, the 2 first crosses, and Blackie the Jersey, which we will get prime cuts out of her. She'll be double-aged dairy beef. Something else interesting that I heard a while ago, which I really appreciated, I think it was on a Richard Perkins podcast. He interviewed, I can't remember his name, but this really interesting breeding guy. Was it another Johan? He made this little, I don't know what to call it, like it's a little heuristic, I guess. If you have a mob of 50 cows and you're standing there with yourself, a dentist, a lawyer, a welder, and a fast food worker, and you said, hey everyone, pick out the 2 or 3 best cows, you're all going to pick different animals. Everyone's going to have a different idea of what the best animal is. But if you said, look around and pick the 2 or 3 worst animals, you've got a lot higher chance of everyone having overlap in their selection, because our eye naturally drags towards things and identifies things that are poor. So you'll identify a cow that's lame and limping a bit, or one that's covered in poo and not as clean as the others, or one that's half shedded and half furry still, while the others are all clean and shiny. And so instead of putting all of our energy into picking our tops, it's really easy to identify your bottoms if you just sit back and try to have an objective view. So that's what we've done here. Drafted the bottoms out, and we are processing 4 bodies of beef a week at the moment off the farm. We're going to be doing that until the end of the year, essentially, and then that'll get our numbers down to where I think we'll be able to ride out a dry summer, if that is going to be what it is. And beyond that, it's also going to hopefully leave a bit of grass up our sleeve, where if the market gets in trouble and no one's got feed, oh sorry guys, I wasn't watching my screen, I don't know what's happened there. If the market bottoms out because no one's got feed and no one can afford to feed anything, well, we can turn other people's liabilities into assets with ours and go and buy cheap cattle, which I've done multiple times before, and it works out really well for us. Now we've also got a couple of little orphan calves in here. These are calves that have had, we've either bought them as bottle calves, or that one got weaned too young, sort of by accident, and it's just not doing well. So we've got it in here to give it a bit of supplemental feed and you know, give it some nice quality hay and just get it going. So anyway guys, that's me for today. Thanks for watching.